match. Sorry. What was so hard about stopping Hill and Nunn, especially there at the start of the second half?
Yeah, we Vince Edwards had 3 fouls, so we didn't start him, and then we flip-flopped Rayfell and then Kendall, because Malcolm Hill done so well in the first half. Try to slow him down a little bit, but it got Kendrick Nunn's had he made a couple plays right there. He scored 8 or 9 right in a row, and that's probably ends up being the difference in the game as that started the second half. I thought they did a good job of attacking, and we had a poor closeout, and he hit a 3. We had another poor closeout after a down screen, and he got right to the basket, and then he exposed us on a triple screen. We got behind it again, but both of those guys were good. I talked about it to Jerry Hester before the game. I just said, for them to be really successful, both of those guys have to have it going at the same time, in my opinion. And obviously they did tonight. They probably had the best game they've had together all season. But if you can slow one of them down, I thought we would be in pretty good shape. And we weren't able to do that. Both of them had great nights.
Matt, the turnovers in the first half were more dead ball turnovers, so it wasn't directly leading to points for them. But overall, did you see the offensive problems leading to defensive problems the same way?
No question, especially when you get behind in the game, when you're trying to fight back. We had a couple of layups at the rim that were tough shots that we didn't finish, a couple of floaters and a couple of jump shots that didn't go. But you have to be able to, when you get down, to be able to get some consecutive stops and be able to score the ball. And then when you don't do that, and it's going to go in the other direction. But you look at all of our losses. You look at the turnover column, and they're there. And you look at when we win, we normally don't have very many. So it's not real hard to figure out.
Why was it so hard to get the ball inside?
Well, I think they did a good job. They changed defenses. If you're not going to be able to make some shots, or you're not going to be able to make some plays, I think it was more us making plays than making shots. They're going to stay in, and so they went to the 2-3 zone and impacted in some, and they gave help in man-to-man, just like a lot of different people have done against us. And you got to be able to open some things up. But 70 points is not the worst total in the world. I think the hardest part for us was stopping, and we simply couldn't slow those 2 down.
Matt, what does Malcolm Hill and Michael Finke do to your bigs? I mean, the matchup issues seem to be you guys and your bigs, but they seem to do something with those guys.
Well, Finke's going to stretch you out, obviously, because he can shoot the basketball. He got into some foul trouble, in this game. So he's a tough cover for us just because he's got size and he can shoot it. Malcolm Hill's really just a big guard. They play with, at the 4, it just causes that matchup problems because he can drive the ball, he can play in the mid post, he can shoot threes. He makes both of them tonight. He's really been struggling shooting threes. But he's a tough cover. The game is a smaller game and we have bigger people, so we have to learn to play smarter. And so when we don't play smart on the offensive end, and then we have those kind of struggles with that kind of matchup, it makes for a long night.
How has the new emphases in officiating changed? Is it hard for you guys to adjust when they get a different crew? And
no, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. It hasn't been bad tonight. Got called a lot closer. But the first half, I thought, when they called something here, they called something there. At the end, I thought it was pretty balanced. When you play bad, you get mad at the officials. You know what I mean? It's just the way it's the nature of a coach. It's kind of the essence of coaching. You want to put the blame somewhere else, but we just got beat tonight. But I think we have big people, and we play games certainly, and they rough those big guys up and nothing gets called. But that hasn't happened. That didn't happen tonight. I thought they played good post defense. That hasn't happened in our other losses. I thought Butler did a really good job against us. I thought Iowa did a good job against us. So a lot of times I tell those guys to adjust to it, but the officials have really done a pretty good job in the post play stuff. They're going to miss one here and there, but they've done a pretty good job with that. So I have no complaints.
How much did the foul trouble affect you guys in the second half in terms of the people you needed out there when they were making their runs?
Yeah, it really affected us, but we more or less had kind of some offensive, defensive matchups at times. And the foul trouble, you were trying to, just kind of get some guys in the flow, and they were going in and out. And then we had to go smaller there at the end, and that was harder because you're trying to press and get back into the game. But yeah, it was difficult. But we put ourselves in that position. Your guys always come over and talk about, each individual call or whatever. You normally go back and watch it, and they normally got it. So, we got to do a better job of playing good defense and staying in the game.
It seems like the three-point defense has been something that's kind of lingered as an issue all season long. What are you seeing now that hasn't developed enough over the course of the season then?
Well, we've had some pretty good numbers. You know, obviously when a couple people have obviously gotten us, and then they were also, you can go through, you know, the breakdowns which lead to the makes, each one of them. They're always going to be, you know, various ones, but, you know, we just have to do a better job of the details of closing out, knowing where a guy is, not getting into rotations and not getting behind plays. When that happens and you scramble, it gets really hard. And we were really worked towards trying to make sure Finke didn't get away from us at times. He didn't play a lot because of foul trouble. We wanted to make sure he didn't get a lot of catch and shoots, and he hit a couple early. One was just because of a poor closeout. He didn't really do a whole lot. He just didn't adjust to his man and get back to him. So just trying to sharpen some things up. I don't think it's anything monumental.
How many teams have you played this year that ran their 5 off 2, 3 stagger screens to get them open?
Yeah, not a lot of people. Maybe one other team. So not a lot of people. So you got to be able to flip it on people. You know what I mean? You know, that might be difficult for us, but it's got to be difficult for them at the other end. And if you don't take care of the basketball and you don't make good decisions, you know, you don't give yourself the number of possessions where those guys need to touch the basketball and you know, get out of the game. So we were trying our best to get him out of the game because that's a tough cover for us. I'm talking about Finke, obviously. But I thought Maverick Morgan was good. He's gotten a lot better. You know, he really struggled in our game last year, and you know, he didn't put up great numbers, you know, today. But you know, he's gotten better. He's improved, and he helps.
Any other questions for Matt? Okay, thank you, Matt.